Welcome to this yoga flow for warming up the muscles and joints. You won't need any equipment for this series, just yourself and a mat. I'll see you back here in Sukhasana Easy Pose. Starting in a seated position, you might like to place your hands on your lap and join them together in Prana Mudra, the energy or spirit of life, extending the index and the middle finger out while joining the thumb with the ring and pinky finger. Taking a moment to settle into the body, into the breath, observing any sensations, perhaps setting an affirmation for today. Keeping the eyes closed, we'll inhale as we extend our arms skywards, joining our hands together. Exhale, lowering our palms to heart center. We'll take 3 cleansing breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth. When you're ready, humbly lower your chin towards your chest and blink the eyes opened. Namaste. Keeping our left palm on our left thigh, we will walk our right fingertips out to the right as we lower our left ear towards our left shoulder, finding a nice stretch along the right edge of the neck. One more breath. And from here we'll lower our chin towards our left collarbone. Chin to chest. And back to center. And we'll go on the left side. Walking the left fingertips out, this time dropping the right ear to the right shoulder, feeling a stretch along the left side of the neck, flowing with the breath, chin to right collarbone, chin to chest, and back to center. From here we'll take several neck rolls, rolling the ear from one shoulder across to the other, flowing with the breath. You might like to create a full circle. This exercise is particularly beneficial for anyone who spends a large portion of the day seated at a desk behind a computer or first thing in the morning when you wake up. From here, we will clasp our thumb and fingers together like so, placing them on the tops of the shoulders and create some external shoulder rotations. As we inhale, bringing the shoulders up and together. Exhale, rolling them back and around, flowing with the breath. Once more, and we'll go back the other way, finding some internal rotation and lubrication of the shoulder joints, the shoulder girdle. Now we'll keep our hands where they are, and this time we will extend our arms forward on an inhale and exhale, flex at the elbow joint, working on warming up the elbow, the muscles and the joints of the arm, the wrist. Being mindful to keep the shoulders rolled back and down. We don't want them to be hunching up by the ears. Now we will make fists with our hands, rolling them out in one way and swapping directions. Maintaining activation in the arms, grounding down through both sits bones, and clasping the hands together, rolling the wrists out a few times. From here we'll shake it out and come on to the long edge of our mat as we extend both legs, ensuring that we're grounding down through both sits bones. Heels are flexed, and we'll open our legs and invite some internal and external rotation of the hip joints. Flowing with the breath, just a small movement to warm up the muscles. Now we'll join our legs together, and as we inhale, we will flex and extend the tops of our feet, warming up the ankles. Ensuring that the legs are staying relatively stationary, this move is just coming from the top of the feet and the ankles. You might like to create some circles, rolling the feet out one way and reversing the movement. Keeping the left leg stationary, we will externally rotate the right hip. Flexing at the knee joint, we will place the lateral edge of the right foot on top of the left thigh, interlacing the left fingers between the right toes, and just gently massaging the toes out, perhaps creating circles with the foot. You might like to hold onto the ankle with your right arm for support. And now we will place both of our hands on either side of our hips and begin to gently wiggle that right leg, shaking it up and down, inviting some small movement into the hip joint. Extending the leg, we'll go on the left side, grounding down through the right leg, flexing at the left knee, placing the outer edge of the left foot on top of the right thigh, interlacing the right fingers around the left toes and finding some movement. Ensuring that we're elongating through the spine. Our ribs are soft, and we will transition into the single butterfly lifts on the left side. Once you feel that you're sufficiently warmed up, we'll extend the legs, shake them out, and this time grounding down through the left leg, we will flex at the right knee, interlacing our fingers behind the right thigh. On our inhale, we're going to extend that right leg, exhale, flex. Inhale, extend, exhale, flex. Just a small movement, really working on warming up the legs here. A micro bend in the knee is perfectly okay, and we'll hold and breathe, keeping the leg extended in the sky, ensuring that we're grounding down through both sits bones. One more breath, and exhale, drop it down. Now interlacing the fingers behind the left thigh, rolling the shoulders back and down, grounding down through that right leg. Inhale, extend, exhale, flex. Flowing with the breath. Once more, and this time we'll keep it up. Breathing through any tension, any sensations. And exhale, relax. This time externally rotating both hips, coming into Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. You might like to interlace your fingers around the feet, roll the shoulders back and down as you create length along the posterior chain, drawing the navel towards the spine, finding a nice stretch along the inner seams of the thighs, the groin. One more breath. And from here we will transition into tabletop position, Bamanasana. Ensuring that the knees are in line with the hips, hip width distance apart, squared to the front of the mat. The wrists are in line with the shoulders, rolling the shoulders back and down, activating the core, drawing the navel towards the spine. And from here we will rotate the grip of our hands, so wrists facing towards one another, fingers splayed towards the edges of the mat, and just creating some small movements, rolling the body around in circles, distributing that weight across the knees, the wrists, the fingers, the arms. You might like to close the eyes here. It's more about what is going on the inside. Now we'll flip the grip so the fingertips are facing the knees, and we'll sink our hips back, finding a lovely stretch along the arms, along the wrists, flowing with the breath. And now we'll flip the grip once more. Palms are facing skywards, and we'll wiggle out the fingers once or twice, and coming into our standard tabletop position, fingers facing towards the front of the mat. From here, we will inhale, scoop the chest forward, broadening across the collarbones, and exhale and round, tucking the chin towards the chest, flowing with the breath through cat and cow. Finding a nice expansion along the back of the ribs, across the chest. Once more. And this time we will stay in our cat pose for a few breaths, really working on breathing into the rib space along the posterior chain and back to center. From here we will inhale as we extend our right arm skywards. Exhale, thread that arm through. Inhale, extend. Exhale, thread it through the left hand and the left knee. Once more, and this time we will drop our right shoulder down to the mat, ensuring that both hips stay squared to the front of the mat. We're not collapsing into that left hip. You might like to extend the left arm out in front or wrap it around and find a bind, reaching somewhere along the inner seam of the right thigh. Finding a lovely deep stretch along the inner seam of the left shoulder, the left chest. Remembering to breathe, seeing if you can sink into this posture a little more. Can you relax a little further? One more breath, and on our inhale, we'll extend our arms skywards, bringing the right arm up and framing it back underneath the right shoulder. One round of cat and cow to clear it out, and we'll go on the left-hand side, grounding down through the right arm this time. Inhaling, extending the left arm skywards. Exhale, threading the arm through, flowing with the breath, really working on finding a nice open twist along the left side of the body. And this time we will stay down. You might like to creep the right fingertips out in front. Perhaps you might like to find a bind, bringing that right arm around along the inner seam of the left thigh. Again, being mindful of those hips, they're not splaying out to the side, keeping them neutral. Resting along the side of the face. Can you relax the muscles of the face, the neck? Inhale, extend the arm up. Place the hand underneath the shoulder. Inhale, extend the left arm up. And one round of cat and cow to clear it out. Taking a moment to settle into tabletop, we will ground down through both fingers, both hands, and our left leg as we tuck our right toes under and extend our right leg back. Perhaps gliding back and forth a few times to stretch out that right calf muscle. And when you're ready, inhale and float the right leg off the floor. Muscles are engaged, heel is flexed. You might like to tent up onto your left fingertips, perhaps walking the left arm out in front and extending that arm, floating it up in line with the torso into our bird dog variation. One more breath and back to tabletop. We'll take one round of cat and cow to clear it out and go on the other side. This time grounding down through the right leg, we'll extend our left leg back, finding a nice calf stretch. And when you're ready, engage that back leg, inhale and float the leg up, flexing through the heel, finding length. Maybe staying here or tenting up onto those right fingertips. If you'd like to take a little bit further, maybe walking the fingertips out in front and extending that right arm in line with the torso, with the leg. Finding some balance. Exhale, bringing it back to tabletop, and we will sink those hips back as we come into a child's pose. I invite you to stay here for as long as you like. You should be sufficiently warm to start your practice. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.